My hands are meaty.
Oh man, how you doing, guys? Welcome to another episode of Between Collectors. And as you can see, we have a full panel tonight, and we're gonna have a fun show. We're gonna talk about a bunch of things today. We're gonna talk about hot toys, the expected and expected potential releases, what's going on with the shipment delays, and towards the end, we're gonna have John from Queen Studios to answer some questions, and of course, share some very exciting news. So, but before we start, I want to say hi to my panel here. So we have Joao, the big Breda himself in the house. What's up, my friend?
What's up, my friend? Thank you for having me again. Excited to talk with John. I have some questions for him about the Lord of the Rings. So it will be a fun show.
It's gonna be a fun show, for sure. And of course, you know this man. He is the man of the dioramas. He can customize pretty much anything. He can make a Darth Vader look cute. That's Desi from Metamorphic Customs.
I love pink Darth Vaders. They're my favorite. How's everybody doing? Good evening. And good morning, Joel.
Thank you.
Looking forward to this. As always, thank you for the invite. And I can't wait to talk to John. It'll be my first time talking to him, so looking forward to it.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. And of course, you know him. He is the man with the only few figures. You know, he doesn't have much. Mr. Fabio from FABSFIGURES in the house. What's up, Fabio?
What's up, man? Thank you for having me. Hey, everybody.
I know it is a pleasure for you to be with us tonight. I can feel it.
You can feel the excitement.
And of course, you know this guy, my boy Josh from Comic Concepts in the house. ¿Cómo está, señor?
Hi, how are you?
Okay, I'm gonna take it that means that you're doing good. So
Outside the crippling depression, yeah, absolutely.
this guy, you know, I cannot see you depressed at all, man.
I'm not. That was a joke. That was a
I
dark
know,
humor
it's a joke. I'm saying like in
Dark
general. Even if you're depressed, I will not believe you anyways.
You'll never know.
You're crying in the inside.
No one is gonna know.
Oh, I gotta mute my camera for a second,
Yeah, please. All right, so now let me say hi to the people in the chat because without you guys, we would not be here. You know the drill. To Catherine in the house. What's up, gentlemen? How you doing, my friend? Hector V, member of the channel. Hello, everyone. Blackbird Tech. Hello, everyone. Hector V, Javier Aguilar. Start now or we riot. Don't riot, please. Don't riot. Blackbird Tech says, I'm definitely going to order it. Oh, okay. So he's talking with Hector probably. He just finished to watch the review. So hopefully you like it. The DX, I think, is a very good figure, man. I'm telling you. Xeno in the house, another member of the channel. Good evening, all. Hold my balls in the house. What's up, guys? Blackbird Tech. Punisher XS. Hi, everyone. Primetime Reviews in the house. What's up, everyone? Fabio.
What's up, man?
Jay-Z, man of hot. Thanks, man. Thanks for being here tonight. Calvin Williams II. What up, people? As the Chase. Hopefully you're doing good, my friend, because I know you were sick. Big Breda in the house. Valiant in the house. Good evening. How are you? We have KJ Smith. Big Brother. I love this show because it means my favorite show is on next. Ooh. I think that's your second account.
No.
Wait a minute.
That's definitely bootleg. That's bootleg account right there.
That's my second burner account.
Conquer Knight. Gandalf. Yeah, we're going to have some news about that as well, so stay tuned. Brother Reviews, another member of the channel. Hello, what's up, my friend? The Collector #1. What's up? Hope everyone is doing great. We're doing great, man. It's Tuesday. Almost Friday. Universal Key. Evening, everyone. DT Arman in the house. Hi, fellas. Just ordered the DX19 and my classic suit Spidey is shipping soon. Man, let me tell you, both figures are really good. That classic Spidey is money right there. Love pretty much everything. Uncommon Flex. Hello, good people. Another member of the channel. Thank you so much, my friend. Hard Rider Reviews. Hector V. Mr. Fabio from FABSFIGURES. Fat Gadget. Hello, fellows. Earthlings. How you doing, my friend? Chris Santos. Hello, everyone. Duck Collector. eating some popcorn. The House of Collectibles. What's up, guys? Bradley Reviews. Howard Stories. Ray, what's up, my friend? Good evening. We have Basic Via. Let's go, go, go. Queen Studios Joker giveaway today. Thanks, Dante. You got it, man. Elfito. Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Kinui in the house, another member of the show, of the channel, rather. What's up, Dante and crew? Hope everyone is doing well. Backman, looking forward to this. Always informative and enjoyable. Thank you so much, my friend. Link 2195. Hello, everyone. JC says, just got my classic Spider-Man today. Woohoo! Let's make some noise. And of course, everyone watching at home, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. All right, so this is how we start Between Collectors. I was supposed to play the intro and then say hi to the people in the chat, but I guess I did both at the same time. But it doesn't matter. You get the idea. It worked anyways. All right. So we have a few topics to talk because, oh, man. So if you guys saw, I was with Aries on the weekend on Saturday. Fabio was as well on Aries' show on Monday. So shout out to Aries. Hopefully he can join us later tonight. So we were talking about figures in general. If you follow our streams for members only with Fabio, we usually get, we talk about figures. We talk about pretty much everything. China was in lockdown. I think, Joao, are you guys still in lockdown or getting back to normal slowly but surely?
Half lockdown.
Half. Okay. So
Yeah.
it seems that things are going to start resuming fairly soon, it seems. I mean, so I guess that's good. Now, this is the first question I want to talk about this. Should we expect the unexpected? Now, let me explain what I mean by this. So we have a bunch of figures that, they're being delayed. There's not a secret that delay is affecting everywhere, the whole world, right? Figures, goods, anything. Now, we're going to talk about collectibles because that's what we do. And I'm going to share my screen because, I was pretty much showing this the other day. And I mean, as you can see, and I said this before, this was supposed to be shipped in March. We have Wonder Woman, the same thing. We have Miles Morales, the same thing. We have Tony Stark, the same thing, March, right? And of course, we have a few more figures that are set to release in April, like Moff Gideon, the Dark Troopers. Then we have the Transport Trooper that was pushed, but I think this guy's gonna come sooner than this. So don't buy on this date. Johnny from Silverhead, whatever, Cyberpunk, whatever the game is, also set to ship in April. Echo as well for the Bad Batch, April to June. We have Batman and Robin, right? And a few more, but I don't want to put all of them because I'm gonna run out of tabs. You get the idea. So we are gonna get a bunch of stuff. Right? Now, the question is, I'm going to start with Joao on this one. So expected. Do you think everything that I just showed up on screen, do you think we're going to get something that is not there? Let me explain. Last year, for example, we got Spider-Gwen, which was supposed to be released like probably 6 months ahead of her time, but it was released before that, way before that. Do you think we're going to get something totally unexpected that maybe we didn't even think about is going to be released this soon? In terms of Hot Toys, obviously.
I don't think so, and I can't remember of any figure they could do an early release at this moment, unless they want to speed up Mandalorian stuff, because they have a lot of Mandalorian stuff to be released by the third and fourth quarter. And maybe they want to release it before the third season coming.
Yeah,
but it's possible because sometimes they like to do these smart moves, and for example, that deluxe Boba. There's still a Boba deluxe set, the Boba in the Throne, that belongs to the Mandalorian, not the Book of Boba. I'm seeing that. I'm sure they want to take that out as soon as possible. after a year, no one will want that. And even now, I don't know. Josh, do you have many pre-orders for that set, the Throne one?
The Throne, I think I'm sold out. Oh, let me look.
Okay.
People actually really. Let me make sure real quick. But a lot of people did actually want it because it was the first time outside of Palpatine. Yeah, I remember. Outside of Palpatine, that we actually got a Star Wars throne piece, and believe it or not, like I don't know what it is, like just a throne piece is actually really appealing to most or a lot of collectors. I'm looking right now to see where we're at. No, I'm not sold out actually.
Not yet.
Well, I'm trying to see what the demand was so I can answer this properly. I don't want to just like talk like an asshole like I normally do.
I think the Sideshow Doctor Doom premium format was the one that started that throne.
Yeah,
thing
Doom
back
for
in-
sure.
Yeah, like back in the 2000s, I remember seeing that. And
Oh, it's great. And then like even me, I have a custom Arthas on throne in the works with a collector of mine, World of Warcraft, Lich King. I mean, some of those throne pieces, they command a lot of presence.
they do.
Yeah, but I was saying, for example, Moff Gideon, some of these pieces maybe could release earlier, but I don't know. They have so many figures in delay. You even
Yeah.
you haven't there the Loki, the 2012 Loki is not there, the Endgame one. And
Oh
that
God,
one is-
that's right.
That
is
one,
already-
Yeah.
Django Fett. So there's still a bunch that
Yeah.
that's my I think that's my concern, because eventually all these have to be released, right? And if you recall correctly, and Joao, you helped me the other day with the math on this, right? We got 5 figures in 1 week, and you were able to name all of them. It's gonna happen at one point, man. It's gonna happen at one point. But now, I don't think it's gonna be the order that we think it's gonna be. I think they're gonna start moving stuff that were supposed to be released probably later at one point. I think they're gonna start releasing some of those first.
Release the Blurg with Quill. I'm all for that.
I can tell you we're definitely not going to see Johnny for a while. Like Johnny Silverhand, they'll push back to the end of time. They got more important shit to push out. I mean, that's the
You think
reality.
so?
It's a business.
Mhm.
I think they would actually release that quick to get it out of the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Just to get it out of the way? See,
get it
I
out.
don't know. And like, that's the other thing. Like with Hot Toys, I feel like they're starting to follow the statue game in release dates. Like, just because it released in Hong Kong, like a batch released in Hong Kong, does not mean it's like released. You know what I mean? Like, we'll still wait 6 to 9 months on some of these. Is the Batpod still pre-order in North America? I sold out, but like,
It's already shipping.
it's finally shipping. Last week it wasn't.
Yeah. It's
So
already
like,
shipping.
yeah, so like the Batpod's been released for like 6 months, but it just started shipping in North America.
So again, something to think about with Queen Studios when they say first batch of that Joker is releasing.
It could be like the
you know,
first 100.
Yeah, because
and they
John-
are a
John-
statue company,
John already said that. He said the shipping starts Q4, doesn't end on Q4.
Right.
The first batch will go out on Q4, and
They'll
then
probably ship
may-
into June.
most probably.
Oh, yeah.
Most probably will get some people will get theirs in June.
I think it's wild that like people are so focused when they see an estimated release date. They're like, I'm gonna get it during that quarter. Like you could be the only one who doesn't get it. You want to talk about chance? I mean, let's be real. You could literally be the only one just waiting on yours to be
Right.
made.
Right.
Doesn't mean anything.
Now I'm gonna go with Fabio on this one. So expect the unexpected, right? So we were told that Django Fett was next in the list. It's been pushed back. I mean, according to Sideshow and what Josh is saying as well. But I think we're gonna start seeing figures that we didn't expect to see this quick. Like for example, this is the Grogu is was supposed to be released in March, same as Wonder Woman, same as Miles Morales, same as Tony. Right, all these 4 were supposed to be released in March, but some of them were pushed back. Like Django Fett, for example, was supposed to be released as well in March. It was pushed. Right now, I have a feeling, Fabio, that we're gonna see all these guys that they were pushed for later sooner, and I will probably bet that we're gonna see this guy Django Fett.
Well,
What do you think?
it's already happening. I got so far 2 emails from Sideshow stating that certain figures, and people posted these emails as well. Certain figures were going to be late; they were going to be delayed. But literally within a day or two, I specifically got the email saying they're about to charge. So
Right.
they're saying they're going to be late, but they're charging them, very quick. So I think what they're doing is buying themselves a little bit of time. They're extending them, a month or so or 2 months or whatever. But I think it's just to make people, kind of like, oh, like I gotta wait, but then get surprised when they get that email that it's, coming sooner. So I think they're playing that game a little bit.
It's a fun psychology game. Yeah.
It is all about psychology, right?
Yeah, it is. It's business in the end.
It is business at the end. But I'm gonna go with Desi on this one. So this is my I guess my gut feeling, right? So I think we're gonna see Django Fett, and with Django Fett, we're gonna get something else together, right? Just to start start cleaning up wherever they have, right? And I think my other logical pick will be the Transport Trooper, because it is a trooper, right? There's not a head sculpt, so this could be easily it's probably already done. It's just a matter of pushing it, right? And then we may have other figures. But what are your thoughts? Do you think should we expect unexpected? Are we gonna get what we're supposed to see, like in order, like these guys, Grogu, Wonder Woman, Miles Morales, Tony Stark, that were supposed to be released in March? Or are we going to see something that it was supposed to be released, but not necessarily within the time frame we think?
I think the latter. And I think that's because we really don't. We can guess, and this is fun speculating. I love this, but we don't really know their logistics. I think there's 3 categories, right? One is what Joao was mentioning. It's like, do we need to push this out because the show is irrelevant or not liked, and we're moving on? So that's category 1. Category 2 is it like a Transport Trooper where it's just a glorified, kit bash? And then number 3 is everything else, like things that are not a kit bash. It's not, we have to push out, but it's like Silverhand. We don't have to push it out and it's not a kit bash. Cable. We don't have to push it out and it's not a kit bash. And we don't have to push it out because the movie's so, it's been out for years. It doesn't matter at this point, right? So You've got these 3 categories. So it really just depends, again, on their logistics, and we don't know them. Is it easier for them to just keep pushing out Transport Troopers because it has a mix of Mud Trooper and Tank Trooper, and the Tank Trooper's already done? Mm-hmm. You would think it is. It's just a different color, but we don't know that. So, But I do expect that beyond everything, all those tabs we have open right now, that we'll probably get a surprise. We'll get something like Bo-Katan or something, or...
I will say... Oh, wait, it's not my turn yet. I'll shut up.
Go. It's your turn
now. No. Who else?
No, it was your turn.
Okay, good news. Maybe I'm late to the game, but this was an unexpected surprise. The Assault Tank Commander, right? Has that been out for a while?
Yeah.
It's been shipping, but it's still pre-order on their site, on Sideshow.
My entire batch comes in tomorrow.
Ooh.
I'm sending out invoices, and we're almost sold out.
Ooh.
So if you don't want to be on the back end of that pre-order,
you know who to go. You know what to do. You know what to do. Go to Josh, and Josh will give me 20%.
No,
in rupees.
But oh god, no, it's kind of ridiculous because like I'm a retailer and I don't even get updates anymore on releases. I was told 2 months ago that I was getting my batch of 2-pack Boba Fett, and then they just never showed up. And they're like, "Oh, sorry, we sent that email out a little early. It's automatic." Same thing with Ahsoka. I mean, none of the North American retailers know where their stuff is, and it's kind of a shame because like you want to talk about unexpected. Like I said, today I was told the Assault Tank Commander came in. Tomorrow I'm picking it up. Like we get no notice, and then people are mad at us for delays. It's like I don't get paid to like get this. Like I want you to get it more than you want it. I desperately want you to get your figure. I want to see you playing with your figure.
One thing I know for sure is that we have 100 people watching right now. So please hit the like button because liking this helps a lot. and we're gonna have John later in the show to answer some questions that we have. And of course, you can ask questions and we will flash it on the screen. Now, Hector V asked a really good question. Any word on why they released the DX19 early? I thought it was July.
Because it's awesome, and there's vehicles that have empty seats.
Batman is in streaming.
Where is it? I think
I have the strong opinion, and at least I can speak for here, they were not selling the bed pods. And they needed to sell the bed pods. There's a huge stock of bed pods over here, and they needed to push that Batman to sell the bed pods together.
There you go.
really.
Yeah.
Okay, so that answers the question. But
It's
you
a
know
sick
what?
figure. I'm surprised.
It is a sick figure. So now this is my other thoughts about this, right? So we got the DX19 earlier, right? And no surprise, it was a hit. In my opinion, was a hit. Very good figure. I think was an improvement in every way compared to the previous DX12. I think we're gonna see this figure coming very soon as well. I think we're gonna see Catwoman coming, and people are gonna say, "You know, it's crazy. It's January 2023." Yes, I know. I'm thinking about this is just a speculation. This is not confirmed by nobody. I'm just telling you because I'm just picturing what happened with Spider-Gwen that was released way ahead her time, and we got it. And this is a reissue. This is a 2.0 type of thing, right? So they have pretty much everything ready. Few updates here and there. So I think we might see this just to complement the DX and build the hype for it. That's just my the unexpected. This is the topic of this segment, right? Expect the unexpected.
How much you want to bet? Just because I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I do want to build on that. Or what if they're planning their Joker re-release, their DX for the series, or I guess it's the Dark Knight because he wasn't in any of the others. They're definitely going to make one. What if they're going to be announcing that soon and delay her so that they can make more of her so people can collect the Dark Knight trilogy? Because orders were not stellar for her. She was not a high demand figure. But if they release a Joker and they start working on the other Dark Knight trilogy figures, they might delay her to be able to maximize their pre-orders.
That's true. And that could be kind of like a counter attack, if you will, for what Queen Studios did with the Joker, right? Maybe they want to build some hype. What if they announce Bane 2.0?
Yeah.
And remember that Queen Studios have a 1/6 scale statue, the Catwoman with the bat pod.
Yeah, I mean, they could easily wait on Catwoman to release. Bane would make more sense. You're right. Bane, if they release Bane, I guarantee you some of those collectors that weren't going to get Catwoman are now going to get her.
That's true. That's very true as well. So now, Fabio, expect and expected, right? Do you think this can come as well? Since we are talking about DC a lot lately, and it seems to be picking up, right? Based on what we've seen in the movies, the Batman, the DX19, the Batman movie, seems to be some small hype about, the DC.
Yeah,
could this be the unexpected release, for example?
Yes and no. I mean, just because they're releasing, DC figures like Harley Quinn, I just actually got her mine yesterday. I don't think they're just going to keep doing the DC thing. Even though, the Nightmare Batman they already made, so that's an easy figure for them to make. All we're getting is a new suit for the Superman, so that's an easy figure to make as well. Possibly, but I don't think they'll do that because of the hype. I think they'll do it because the figures are probably ready.
And they have this already. Remember, they have these figures already. Right. It's not like it is a brand new redesign.
Yeah, but these figures are iconic, right? They will always sell because it's the Nightmare Batman was sold out and everyone was waiting for it.
Right.
But for example, if you think that classic Loki that they announced just 2 weeks ago, by the time of release, no one will remember that TV show.
No.
That is a figure that I think they should release much earlier than the scheduled date they have.
That's a good point as well. But also, I picture that in more in the unique category, right? Because it's a really good looking figure. It's kind of like unique, if you will. So it is probably they're probably gonna go with by the time, right? But now these figures are all set to release this year, besides Catwoman, right? That Catwoman was for 2023, for example. So it does when the Hot Toys does something like this, and I'm gonna go with Desi on this one. When they release something that was not expected, right? It was in the pipeline. It was supposed to be released sometime this year, but they want to do it earlier, right? Just to kind of give some type of hope to collectors that don't necessarily mean that you're gonna get all delays only, right? You can get also things that were supposed to be released at their time, but now is sooner, like what they did with Spider-Gwen, for example, right? Do you think that could be a good approach by Hot Toys by doing that, doing some releases sooner, just so people can get excited about the company and kind of saying, okay, now, they are delivering, they are, giving us stuff that was supposed to be done late. Now they're giving us early, kind of to offset the delays.
I think that'll shake things up, but I don't think that they're doing that on purpose. Like with Gwen, I don't think it was oh look what we're doing for you guys. We love you guys. Here's Gwen early. Yeah, I don't think so. It was like this is what I was talking about before, logistics, and we don't know them. For some reason, it was better for them to produce Gwen first, and not with Miles. Like, and they just got it out. Like it didn't. I don't correct me if I'm wrong, but the release didn't coincide with like any kind of movie or any kind of announcement. Like. Nothing.
Negative. Absolutely nothing.
For the Batman Superman, like I don't know, like when is it supposed to release?
So Batman
Third quarter, I think.
and Superman is supposed to be released July.
So that makes sense to me because that's around the time of Comic-Con and the DC fandom. Like they're not going to tie it in with that. I get that, but from like my marketing brain is saying release it to coincide with something DC related. I don't, but yeah, that's how I see things.
So you mean they are holding all Star Wars releases for May?
No.
To release everything in May.
No, that's I
hope
we
not.
wish, but no.
Wish, yeah.
I would think that that would be the normal approach. You always try to coincide your license acquisitions and releases with some kind of promotional material, But what I'm saying is that is not what's happening. Like, oh, Luke, the Bestman Luke, April 13th, like, or whenever it was. Like, even if you say, oh, it's April 13th because they're going to announce the battle damage Luke on May 4th. Like, okay, but why did they announce? Like, it still doesn't make any sense. It never has.
Yeah.
So,
and let me address these comments here. Bobby Ray says the ports in China are a mess right now. Predictions that shipping to US will get worse. That might as well that can happen. I mean, it's been horrible for forever, pretty much right now, right? For months and months and months. Reddit reviews also said, I bet we will see the Batmobile this week. The Tumblr?
That would be sick.
That's very possible as well.
No,
maybe
I think he means the announcement of the announcement. Batmobile.
Oh, the new one.
It is possible that they can announce it because remember yesterday. This is right. Yeah, yesterday, the 18th,
yes.
Batman was released on HBO Max.
Again, I was about to say that. Streaming yesterday, you thought they would have announced the Batmobile for pre-orders yesterday. Nope.
And yesterday, Hot Toys released a video of the DX19 showing some details, and in the end of that video, they appeared the new Batman logo, and they said updates coming soon or something like that.
They're not ready, is what that is.
Yep.
It's not ready to be released.
Now, talking about, we have 110 people watching, guys. Hit the like button. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And we really appreciate your support and you being with us on this fun, beautiful night on Tuesday. And, of course, don't forget to subscribe to my friends' channels. Follow Joao, follow Desi, follow Fabio. Let's get Fabio 1,000 subscribers, guys. Come on. If you haven't subscribed to this guy, you should do it now. Let's get him to 1,000 so he can start monetizing and making $440,000 a month.
I'll start putting out addresses.
Luminara in the house. Thank you for stopping by. Conquer
He's going to offer one Hot Toys per month during 4 years once he reaches 1,000 subs.
I heard he's just sick of Hot Toys.
Conquer Knight says you can never have enough Jokers. Yeah, 100%. Never. But hey, who knows? Maybe they're gonna do some more releases. This more announcements rather. Like again, Bane. Maybe they're waiting for the
Bane
right
for
time to do
sure.
Joker.
No, I mean, we Hot Toys make so much sense that in May they could very well announce the Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
Yeah.
That no one is thinking about him now, and maybe they will announce it.
There's a second movie coming.
Is there a second movie? It's confirmed?
Yeah,
I
they're
don't
working
know.
on Joker too.
Oh,
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Surprise!
that's
Expect
sad
the
to-
unexpected.
Expect the unexpected. Yeah.
Ah!
Now, what else could be? What else could could we get? For example, besides those unexpected releases. I mean, if I can show you my screen here, right? So Batman and Robin, right? It is pretty much. I will probably say that they're probably gonna come together. You know, maybe same week, not necessarily the same day, but probably same week. You know,
That makes sense, but Hot Toys can very well release one year apart each other
right? Or
because it's Hot Toys.
they can give us Robin
Because
first,
it's Hot Toys.
and then give us like a Wonder Woman. Which, by the way, this one looks horrible. I really hope that they fix this Haskell. It's just, I mean, based on these pictures, that's why I don't want to say nothing else until I have it in hand. But anyway, so they can give us Tony Stark. They probably can give us, I don't know, Johnny, probably. Or
This will be a Grail.
this one, probably.
Yeah.
Single
In the
Johnny.
Johnny? Oh,
It
yeah.
it is a one-off figure. So usually the one-off figures are the nicest ones, and people
And
tend to
dude,
get those.
Cyberpunk's not that bad. People just like to hate. I'm sorry. Sorry. Yeah.
No, I haven't played the game, so I
Our
cannot say
haters.
anything about it. But you know who we
You
have here?
will no.
PP Rock. Go ahead.
P-Rock's a hater.
You're up.
P-Rock is a hater.
Just look at him.
Let me say hi to Costa from Pop Culture Living Room. What's up, everybody? What's up, my friend? Welcome. Thank you for stopping by. SBM in the house. Do you really think they will make the new Batmobile? Seems like a waste of time and resources now. Well, you know, I've been noticing that Hot Toys has been doing more vehicles lately, right? We had the Batpod, Tumbler, we got the DeLorean again, we got, well, I'm going to put the Blurk in that category, like a vehicle, even though it's not. But you get the idea, right? We're getting those things. I think we're going to get that one. I think we're going to get the new Batmobile.
Oh, for
At least
sure.
announced.
There's
I mean,
money to
they
be
already
made.
teased it anyways, and a lot of people are expecting to it. So, you know, I think that's going to happen. Pretty confident that that's going to happen.
They're not going to make another one. Like, if the second movie comes out, they're going to have another Batpod. I mean, they're not. I doubt they'll make a new Batpod vehicle because this one wasn't even much in it. So this is going to be the only. Or are we saying Batmobile or Batpod at this point?
Batmobile.
Batmobile. Sorry.
Yeah,
Batmobile. They're not going to make another. They're just not. So, like, if you end up loving the franchise, this is going to be your vehicle. And if sales are slow, they're not going to make a lot, and then it's going to become a DeLorean until in 8 years they reissue it.
That's true. Can we agree that this Moff Gideon, it's going to be a really solid release? I mean, personally, I think this is going to be one of the very interesting releases, right? Because we can get Moff Gideon and the Dark Trooper together. And I'm telling you, as soon as this guy here hits the release, you know, you see the pictures of this figure, you're gonna start praying for this to be released right away, and because people are gonna display this easily. And again, this is supposed to be released April to June, same as Moff Gideon. So we're talking about time-wise similar. You know, what do you think, Fabio? Do you think we're gonna get those two right away?
Again, you could try to figure out what Hot Toys, wants to do or plans on doing, but I don't think so. I think they're going to do whatever it is that they're going to do as usual. And once I feel like we're going to get if anything, I mean, I don't know when it's supposed to come out anyway, but I feel like if anything, we'll get the Dark Trooper. If we're supposed to get him first, if not, then this will come and then, Dark Trooper will be whenever. But as we've noticed, they've been releasing more troopers than, head sculpted figures. So, that's the thing. We can't even try to figure out a pattern or anything for the way they release things. So it's kind of tricky.
Yeah, that's kind of tricky. What do you think, Jesse? Do you think we're gonna have a chance to expect and expect it and see these two coming together, for example?
No, I don't think so. I mean, anything could happen. I think I agree with Fabio though. Like you might get one of these earlier, but both of them, that'd be cool. But I don't see that happening. I'm really looking forward to the Dark Trooper. I'll tell you that. But I don't. At the same time, I think that'd just be a coincidence. To be honest, so I'll have to say no.
Joao, I see you like looking and
No. Actually, I'm thinking
Analyzing.
because if they do release the two by the same time or together, I will get first the Dark Trooper, and I will hold off a bit on the Moff Gideon because the Mandalorian series somehow, I don't know how it is in the US, but here the troopers sell out pretty fast and go up in price pretty fast. For the Mandalorian line, I was talking with Fabi, for example, I cannot find a Remnant Trooper or a Death Trooper at this moment at
Oh,
a normal
really?
price.
No,
At
the
a
Remnant
normal
Trooper I
price,
know is
cannot
going
find
for
them.
an insane amount of money though. I know that for a
I
fact.
don't know if they produce them in a smaller quantity than normal for Asia market, but they are quite difficult to find. The Mandalorian troopers.
but
There wasn't high demand when they released. I'll tell you that from my numbers.
Incinerator Trooper too is
Nobody
going
was
up.
buying them. So nobody placed like major orders as a retailer. I'm not going to order my max quantity if I can't sell more than 10 the first week. You know what I mean? Like the incinerator trooper specifically, nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted it. The remnant trooper, no one gave a shit. They said it was a dirty stormtrooper. Like, okay. I mean, that's how it always goes. The ones
Right. Yep.
that are worth a lot of money are the ones nobody wanted at pre-order.
Absolutely.
And they produce based on quantity.
Happens every time.
And the piggy, I think Dark Trooper wise, people wanted that. People wanted a lot of them. I think that's going to release first, and I think they're making a shit ton of them to make sure they have quantity available, because what they're going to do is they're going to release the Dark Trooper, delay the Moff Gideon for a little bit, let everyone get their Dark Troopers, and when the dust settles, then they'll release Moff Gideon, and then they'll have more Dark Trooper sales.
Yeah, or Hot
Or
or that makes too much sense.
makes
That's
too much-
what.
or Hot Toys can release a bunch of figures in 1 week, and we're gonna be like,
If he dies, he dies.
you know, like it is
It's
might as well
possible.
very possible. So that's what I'm saying. Like eventually, the we're gonna catch up to. We're gonna catch up to the orders, right? We're gonna get a bunch, and again, going back to the previous shows, previous explanations about the planning and the budgeting, is gonna happen. Is gonna happen, right? So right now we have a good break, I guess, so we can take a breath and wait and wait and wait and wait. I think that's the best thing we can all do. And Josh, in terms of figures coming in, right? So you said that you normally don't know exactly what's coming until they send you an email or whatever.
For Hot Toys, yeah.
For Hot Toys. So a lot of people ask me this question because you normally get stuff actually faster than Sideshow. So people ask me like, how does Josh has all this before them? Like the Backpack, for example, you
Right, we sold out. I've had it in stock for like 2 months, 3 months. It's completely random. So, like, for example, because I don't like to bullshit my customers. Like, Vito Corleone, people got their batches like a month ago from Sideshow, and I only got mine last week. Hot Toys, it depends, because I order max allocation day one on Hot Toys. That's what I do. That being said, usually what happens is, and I'm not stating I know how Sideshow does their pre-orders on retail side. I'm just saying this is what I think happens. I think what happens is they get a small quantity for retail and they ship them out to random customers, because I've heard there are people that like order day one and they're waiting while others are getting shipping invoices. So I think what happens is they split that first batch most of the time. And because I don't do the volume Sideshow does, obviously, because I'm a collector and Comic Concepts is a hobby, there's enough for me to get my entire quantity. So I'm able to get collectors, and I also what they want, and I also, I ship based on date of order. So like if you order day one with me, you're getting the first batch of the figures that we get. So that's typically why I'm able to get some of the figures faster. It's nothing sneaky or anything. No, that's the thing. I literally wrote them today. No Boba 2-pack, nothing yet. We don't know. And then all of a sudden the next day it'll be like, all of them are here. You need to pick them up like now. So it's completely random. I wish there was more like prediction time, but at the same time, you know, Sideshow is the North American distributor, and although they do take care of us very well, there's not a lot of communication with shipments. It either shows up or it's not. It's not like when I bring in Prime 1 and stuff like that, I know when it's like leaving China. I know when it's moving. Hot Toys is not like that. And we also don't know what batch they're shipping in China, like when these batches ship or how many batches there are to go. It's just...
What if they do that on purpose? If you remember the first Fast and the Furious movie, when they were stealing the truck, the electronics from the trucks. What if they purposely don't tell people when they're shipping so they don't get stolen?
It could be that. It could be 1,000 things that you and I and everyone here will never understand, because I'm not corporate level. I'm not a $100 million company. I don't plan to be. It'd be really cool if I was, but I'm not. And quite frankly, you know, I don't mind not being super knowledgeable because I don't really want to get involved. If I was involved in that, I wouldn't be talking to my customers and collecting myself. You know what I mean? Like, there's only so much time, and I don't want this to turn into a hardcore business where I need a higher customer service. I want to be able to talk to my collectors, and I want to be as surprised as you. Just remember, like, not just me, any North American retailer selling Hot Toys, we don't get paid till you pay for your figure in full. So, like, I'm not sitting here holding your money, ransom, your deposit, it's mine. No, that thing's spent. That thing is gone. That has gone to the factory already. So, you know, I mean, we're highly anticipating it both as collectors and sellers as much as you guys are. So...
yeah, that's a good point that you make. I mean, it's really unexpected. But let me address this super chat here from Old Toys 1999 super chat. Thank you so much for the support. Really appreciate it. Amazing panel tonight, Josh. When will you get a Golden Armor Wonder Woman?
No fucking clue. You heard it live tonight, guys. I don't have a goddamn clue.
Write that down in your spreadsheets.
Let me go edit the estimated shipping date.
Really? Not even a
next
clue?
week,
Nothing?
Who knows? Like I said, the assault tank commanders, I just got told today they're arriving. No notice, no heads up, no nothing. They're here and they're all shipping tomorrow. And I have very few left. I just looked at stock. I literally just sent invoices while on this panel. I want people to get their stuff.
Damn. Well, we are 110 people watching, so I know what you guys can do is hit the like button and show the support. Man, you know, I wish this delays, you know, don't happen. Because, you know, people, they want their figures, man. We want our figures. We want our stuff.
As you should,
you know,
spending money.
as we should. And especially, and again, I know I'm going to sound like a broken record, but especially for people who does payment plans and already paid the figure, either fully or at least 90%. You know, it is not fair for them to wait and wait and wait and wait and wait, you know. It is unfortunate, I think. Josh, when you do your website, the revamping of your website, are you going to offer payment plans? Sorry to put you on the spot.
I'm trying. No, honestly, remember, like when we were on the old Shopify site, we had payment plans. Again, the reason we took those away is because people were disputing them when they no longer wanted the figure. And because there was no tracking attached to it, they would get all their money back, or, and I mean, it's a dispute. So we're getting charged a dispute fee per transaction. So if you buy a $250 figure in like 10 payment installments and you dispute all of those, I paid $150 just for you to cancel your order. So we had issues like that. And then the other thing is we had scammers coming in and abusing the system. So because they were separate transactions, you could only dispute one transaction in attack because it was only one tracking number. So if I shipped a $250 figure and you had whatever 10 payments of $25, I only got $25 back that was protected, even though I shipped the figure. So
sounds fair.
Yeah, it's totally fair. So, and this is when I was just starting out. So like, I definitely didn't have the capital to deal with that. I couldn't just be like, you're banned. I'm about the money.
But now you do. So let's go.
Now I do. So I'm hesitant to announce that, yes, we are working on payment plans for our collectors. We genuinely are.
That's beautiful. But before,
Fabs, how does that feel?
Well, do it the right way. Do it the right way, so you don't.
You know what to do. You know what to do. Oh, look! Before we go to this question, so Otto just became a member of the channel. Thank you so much for joining the club. Members welcome, of course. And by the way, if you guys want to become a member of the channel, hit the join button. We have the special shows for collectors. The third plan that we have, which is the platinum plan, we're gonna have Zoom meetings for members. And also, I'm going to give you shout out on my social media, Instagram, Facebook, you name it. So, and I'm building a members only WhatsApp chat. So it's going to be private chat with you guys as well. So, and we're working on another plan. Eventually, we're going to merge two plans together, but that's going to be happening hopefully in the near future. But we're working on one plan where you guys can get really good things on a monthly basis, right? More like a giveaway type of thing. So we're working on stuff. Don't worry, when that happens, we will announce it. But yeah, thank you so much for all toys for becoming a member, really. And also, I want to address this question here for J Beats. He says, JB Beats, sorry. Have you ever experienced that you had bought the same figure, but there was a clear difference in the painting or the clothing? And I'm gonna go with Fabio with this one because since he gets a couple figures, have you seen a difference like this, Fabio?
Never. If I get actually specifically for example, so I had ordered two of these. They came. I got them yesterday, and as soon as I opened one up, she was broken. So I had to open up the second one immediately to make sure it wasn't broken. So, but no, never a different color, never different. I've had, I don't know if you guys remember when the first Captain America came out, a lot of the the A's on the helmet were crooked. So things like that do happen, not very common, but never like an off tone. I feel like that would be like something that's bootleg.
That's a good point. I never experienced anything like that. Desi, have you experienced anything like that?
You mean like from proto to production,
no,
right?
When you actually get the figure, let's say you get two figures, so when you open both, there's a difference in the painting or the clothing or something.
I don't think I've ever gotten two of one figure. I mean, I have two Death Troopers, for example, but one's from Rogue One is from Mando. And yes, they're both slightly different. One had a little bit more weathering in the panel lines. But other than that, I don't think I've ever picked up. That's one of my budgeting rules. I don't pick up more than one SKU, one of each SKU. So I can't really answer that question.
So you'll have like 30 of the same character, just not the same SKU.
That's my rule. That's my rule.
That's a very bad rule.
Hey. And I don't get obviously, why would you do this? But I won't get like deluxe Mando and regular Mando because they're two different. Like that's
okay. I was just like, Jesus.
No.
Busy BH says, thanks for working on the get payment plans back. Sucks. Big time people took advantage.
Yeah, it does.
Joe, have you experienced any issue like that you received two figures and for some reason they're different somehow?
The only figures that I bought duplicate, I don't open the second one, so I don't know what's inside.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When just because you don't do it, or
just because I want to keep the ones was Pennywise. And I keep them sealed. Pennywise,
Pennywise is gonna be a bloody fortune one day.
That's gonna be a grill, and
It's
we
gonna
said
be
it
a
many
$500
times.
figure. He was
500,
beautiful.
more than that.
Oh, he was a
And
beautiful figure.
at this moment, I don't have display space to have two figures the same displaying together.
Oh, really?
Why don't you build another one like you did?
It's
those?
okay to admit you want the flip.
Because
money. It's
because
not
I'm
bad.
waiting, because yesterday I already talked with Moducase yesterday. I already have my order ready, and they are just trying to quote me a better shipping option.
Nice. Look at you. Real fancy. Spanish guy. Unbelievable.
Spanish guy. Spanish guy. I'm Russian, Spanish. What?
You know, it's
Hey
funny.
man, no one's judging.
No, it's just so you made a good point, because now you're talking about the module cases, displaying figures. So now this is the second question that I want to address to you guys, and also the chat. You know, how do you display your figures? So Fabio, I know that you don't have module cases, but you have a bunch of details and some special, display. How do you display your figures? Do you know, do you leave it outside, or always is in a case?
Usually in the rain, outside in the rains where no.
Oh, that's beautiful.
In the
That
mud.
works.
You
That works.
just want to watch the world burn, huh?
Yeah, no, details. I'm going to be getting into the module cases soon. I emailed them a video, or not emailed them, I sent them a video of the entire section that I want to get done. So I just got to send them the measurements in, and then get into all that. And the cool thing is that I get to buy a corner piece, the new corner pieces that they made.
Yeah, dude, they're so cool.
I
They're
actually need
so
one.
cool.
I need one, so I'm excited for that.
Me too. I'm getting one. I'm getting like two.
Desi, how you do your display? You use details, I believe, right?
Yeah, just details for right now. It would be quite a dollar amount to replace them all with module cases, and I still love details. I think they're the nicest way to display the 6 figures. But once you start, outgrowing the details, then it gets nasty. Then you definitely need module cases, which I'm getting to that point. So,
Are you now?
And you know what's funny? Costa Pop Culture Living Room. He said he customized a garage shelf to for half the price of 3 module cases, the F120s. And I saw a video he did. It was very interesting how he did it. So you should check it out
I
as
saw
well.
that video. It was actually really, really good.
Yeah, it looks
a wonderful
spectacular. It looks
video.
very good.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
So Alto is member of the channel. Thank you again for becoming a member. He says, I use details for now, but I will love module cases. Don't we all? Joao, what is the display case that you're using behind you?
Behind me, this was custom made. I basically designed, and I asked them to make. There's nothing to show. You can see it behind.
Show me all of it.
What the fuck? And
Wait, is that Catwoman on your right?
Yeah, she's laying.
on
Oh,
my
he's got the
You're on the
Tweeter head
right.
maquette. That's the Tweeter head maquette.
and here is the Batmobile, the 89.
Yeah,
in the
I
table.
see that. Is that like a coffee table?
It's a custom table.
I love
he's
that.
sitting on it.
I'm not sitting. I'm sitting on a
Wait.
chair.
No, wait, that's the Batmobile, right? The 1999 Batmobile?
89, exactly.
Beautiful.
So that was the solution I found at that moment, because I have this display on my back, but now it's almost full. And then I will have the module cases in my front, because I want to get module cases for 6 scale and for vehicles also. And then maybe this table will go away probably, because now I have everything here on the table. For example, I have here Truman with a Bane helmet. I have Batwoman. I have I don't know.
They're just laying on the table.
Ed Sculpts. I have Bruce Wayne. I have a lot of stuff here in the table that
Send them to me.
I'm really running out
know
of
what to
space.
do.
I think you've already
And-
run out of space, sir.
Send them to me.
And yeah, so I went with actually if you go to Jedi Knight's Watch YouTube channel, he has very good videos about module cases. And I'm going with a 6110. Is a wall
Nice.
of 8 pieces. And then on the front here, I will use the Max 120 for the vehicles, because for DeLorean, Batmobile, And I don't know if you will fit the Ecto one or not, but I'm still trying to work with them which way
The
I can.
six? It
I can
requires a custom, and it's heavy. That's the thing. The weight requirement
because
is issue.
because one problem that you find in the module case, at least for me, is that the lower level it sits very low, and you need to be at a viewing distance.
It needs to be on risers. So they sell risers. I don't know if they've made them for 6 series yet.
Oh, I think they did, Josh, for
Did
110.
they? It might even be on my site. I just
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
Wow, send them to me.
Since we are 120 people watching, hit the like button, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my friends' channels. If you want to become a member, please do so. Become a member. We have fun stuff for you guys. Desi, how do you display your figures? I can see you have statues on top of your module cases.
Yeah. All my statues.
I'm sorry,
are
on top of your details, I meant.
Yeah, all the statues are on
Look at
top of
that
the
Spider-Man.
details. So yeah, the Prime One
That-
sideshow collaboration, first and last.
I love it.
I think.
First and last.
Yeah, so that's cool. So I have all the statues on top of the details, and then I have, I think, what is it, a Billy or a Billy setup
Billy
Yeah.
setup.
from
Yeah.
IKEA, and that's where I have the 1/3 scales on the top,
Right.
3 1/3
How do we know
scales.
that? Show us. What
Well,
if you're
everything's a
lying?
mess.
So
but...
we're gonna cut you there for 1 moment, Desi, because
Right
we have
there.
John from Queen Studios in the house. John,
Hey,
what's up, my
guys.
friend?
Hey.
Oh, good. How are you guys?
You got a busy morning over there in China, huh?
Yeah. So yeah, sorry for being late. Yeah, there's a last minute meeting that I had to attend, so unfortunately I couldn't push that one back. So I'm glad I can join now.
No worries, man. No worries, man. We were actually talking about all the stuff, because believe it or not, we have so many topics, and sometimes 2 hour show, 1 hour show is really not enough. So we need to kind of like expand and have fun with this thing. But thank you so much for making it. I know it was a very busy morning. We spoke about this, so we really appreciate that you're making the time to be with us tonight. Well, I just want to, Fabio, Joao, Desi, and Josh from Comic Concepts. So we're gonna start this with a few questions that we put together.
Okay, awesome.
And I'm gonna flash a couple on the screens, and some of them we're just gonna make it. If you guys have questions on the chat, please send those. You can do them via super chat as well if you want, so we can flash those questions first. So let's start with the first question here, because we have so many that we want to address. Hopefully we can address all of them. But when will Queen Studios announce the next 1/6 figure? Do you have any news for us?
Yeah, so there's probably a long answer to this. So in general, we had our online product launch about a week ago, right? And maybe some of you guys caught some of the highlights from that. So that we've been planning that online launch since November of last year. So unfortunately, we weren't able to get all of the figures ready in time for that launch. So we've been working on the Joker mostly, and then the next collectible will be the Gandalf figure. So the reason why we haven't shared any updates recently is we've been watching the live streams and the feedback, and there is a little bit of controversy about the promotion, especially were they or were they not concepts on the live stream. So yeah, most of those were concepts, early concepts of the base and the figure. So based on a lot of the feedback, we've decided to just hold on a little bit, wait till we've got everything ready, and then we can share with you guys so it's more meaningful. So it's Gandalf will be next, and then hopefully we're in April now, right? So in the end of May, we should hopefully release a few more and get some more updates for you then.
Oh, nice. So Gandalf should be next. Is that going to be similar to how the Joker is? Is going to have a magnetic base, the seamless, interchangeable arms, rooted hair, all those things, or is it going to have different versions of it?
One version. So we're not going to do the 2-pack for every collectible, and we might not even do it again. Who knows? We listen to the feedback all the time, and that's why I'm happy to join today, because you guys will tell us what you think. So maybe no 2-pack. It will be one figure, and it will be rooted hair. The joints should be more concealed anyway because of the clothing that he wears, but we're going to focus on the magnetic points in the arm so that the hands will be seamless and you can swap those out. And then there'll also be some Gandalf accessories, so maybe the staff like we've teased, and well, maybe a pipe. We'll look into that, and hopefully we can share some updates very soon on that.
Oh, that's nice. We should expect like a nice, I guess, video with some showcase, right? Hopefully.
Yeah.
Before we continue with John, Easy Collectibles join the stream.
Hello.
What's
Hello,
up, my
everyone. Hi, panel. Hey, Bertha. Hey, Desi. Hey, John. What's up, John?
Hey, how's it going?
So this is within. I mean, Josh, Easy. They are the statues collector. I don't know if you guys have any questions before I flash all the questions.
I do, and
go.
I've bothered the hell out of you for like a year and a half, and I apologize for all my annoyances. Just a really big fan. So, like, I have customers constantly writing me that you're like, hey, you're going to have Queen Studios. Oh my God, we're excited. And, I really want to sell Queen Studios, but I have, partners here like Sideshow, Prime One, and Infinity, and we're not allowed to sell, non-North American licensed statues and figures here. And that's such a bummer because there's so many. It's not even just me. There's so many of us that want to promote and sell your product. And do you know if there's, I don't want to say any hope, there's always hope, but like, do you know what kind of weights we might be looking at? Are there certain licenses that are they're just not really possible? Because I know a lot of collectors are able to get their Queen Studios product here in the United States and North America as a whole. But a lot of the issues they run into is, like, God forbid, there's an aftermarket issue. Maybe it gets damaged due to mishandling and shipping, and they're kind of shit out of luck. And that's where, licensing can help. Do you know if there's any plans for, like, especially your 1/6 line, quarter scale statues, third scale? I mean, your statues are amazing. I'm very excited to see what you do with your figures. Do you know if there's any plans or any like exciting announcements we can hear regarding licensing for like European and North American territories?
Yeah, so that's the hardest thing about this for us is the licensing. Right. There's just so much goes on behind the scenes, and for collectors it's very frustrating for you guys because for you guys just care about the collectibles from what we see. You just want the best collectibles. You want the easy way in. If there's a problem, you want to be able to solve it quickly, but hopefully there's no problem. So the licensing is the biggest challenge. So we are looking to expand on busts and statues in the US this year for Marvel, hopefully. All depends on what's agreed. Figures, there's no massive updates yet, but based on all the polls and all the feedback we've been getting, we're just going to be contacting as many of these different licensing companies now, and our goal is global. So we don't want to be in the we don't want to be in the position where we say, and it's only here, and it's only here. We want to be say, you can buy from these guys, and we can have more control over the process. Where like we got some negative feedback about the 3-day window, and that's a lot of that's out of our hands. So if we can get the global licenses, we want to be as upfront and make it as easy for you guys as possible. So that's what we're working hard to do now. So the artists, they're going to do their thing, and then I'll speak with the other guys and we'll try and do our thing to get the global.
Beautiful.
But it's just going to be a bit of time.
Right. And just to piggyback on that question that and your answer, John, we had this controversy about the window, right? 3-day window, and then it was reopened pretty much everywhere, and everyone were giving the same answer. Oh no, Queen Studio stalls. You told y'all show, no, we didn't open any windows. It was 3 days and that's it. I mean, those are resellers, they have control of whatever. But it seems to be that I don't know, either all of them agreed to give the same answer, or something happened, maybe some miscommunication, maybe on your end, right? So I guess for the collectors, do you guys are sure that this is what happened? I mean, you guys didn't open anything; it was just on them, on the resellers.
Yeah, so I know that most people aren't happy with the answers that we've given so far, but I can only respond with what people have told me, because I go to the bosses and say what's happened, and there's like, listen, we only sell to our Chinese partners, and we told them this is the 3-day cutoff, and as people in China know that after those 3 days it stopped, we didn't take any more orders. So a lot of the time our partners take advanced stocks, and if they decide to open again, that sometimes happens. Like an example with statues, for example, one of our competitors yesterday posted sold out everywhere, but then if you go to other retailers online, they've got stock. So when they say they're sold out, maybe someone else has got it. It gets a little bit complicated with the whole how the industry works. So
Right.
from our point of view, we try to stick to that, and this is a learning point from us, and maybe some collectors are going to be patient with us and give us a second chance or a third chance, but it's happened. We need to learn from it and try to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
Yeah, but I want to say, John, you got Queen Studios makes some amazing stuff. Priced at amazing. I feel it's amazingly priced. For example, you look at the Captain America 4 scale that just came out.
Yeah.
That's amazingly priced. As far this going back to licensing, it would be amazing if that can come to the US, like Comic Concepts, something like that. Because I know
Comic Concepts.
I know, like a lot of people that order from them, and a lot of them are force feeding themselves into certain sellers they don't want to be with just to get your product. So I know it's going to be a little bit of, pushing here and pushing there, but man, it would be lovely to get this stuff in the States. Absolutely. I love Queen Studio stuff, but it's so hard to get. And if something were to happen on the in-between, it's kind of, sketchy to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And John, just to mention, because I heard you say that Queen Studios is definitely targeting global licensing, hopefully for the future for 6 scale. So can you confirm that Queen Studios is the one targeting it, and you're not going to depend on maybe a North American distributor to have the license? Instead, you're going to try to get the license from Queen Studios, or how does that work?
So again, it's a great question. So it can work both ways. So we always go for our own license first. But sometimes if there's existing partners within a market, the licensor will say, we love what you do, but, and we hear that all the time, we love what you do, but there's an existing company. And then they say that you can always contact those guys and see, do they want to distribute? And if there's no other route, then that's the way we'll go, because at the end of the day, we want to eliminate as many of those problems that you just mentioned, where you order, there's a shipping problem, it gets held up at customs, and then you guys, there's not a lot you can do. We don't want that for collectors. As collectors ourselves, we want to make sure it's as smooth and as seamless as possible, and you've got the full support from the retailer. So if that requires a partnership, then we'll look into partnerships. But we'll try and get our own license, and then we can work with the best people that you guys say, yeah, we trust these people. That's who we want to work with.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a good question, Desi. Now another question I have. So the other day you guys did the launch product launch video, and I watched it. Obviously, actually, I did a small watch party, if you will, and a lot of people. I mean, this is the feedback that I got. I'm just kind of like sharing it to you. They were expecting to see more 1/6 related stuff. But they were a bit disappointed that instead of seeing that, they saw the same Joker clip by Viper, which, by the way, is an amazing figure, right? But there was nothing else to that, so people were more tuning in because they want to hear more about the 1/6. And I mean, you guys know you guys did market research. I mean, the 1/6 community is really big. So curious to see why we didn't you guys didn't show any more 1/6 related stuff, but just the same clip.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, the problem is, and I think that this job looks like it's amazing. You get to work with the figures and the collectibles, but there's a lot of behind the scenes tough stuff that we have to do. For example, some of those videos, I wish we could reshoot it because I'm quite a lot overweight compared to what I am now in the video that I was in, because we shot it in like December around Christmas time, and the same with some of those videos we shot in November of last year. It just takes so long to get them approved by the licensing companies. They have to check all the subtitles, make sure everything's correct, make sure that there's nothing wrong with the collectibles. We can't show two different brands at the same time. We have to get everything approved. So the approval time for that was quite lengthy. With figures, we're still developing those. So we didn't get the chance to show as many as we could. We wanted to give people a bit of an overview of what we had planned. So that's why we showed the concepts, and I think the Ring Wraith was an early prototype, which is really early. We just wanted to show the concepts first. We're going to make them, so it's not like a bait and switch where we see what you guys say and then we say, okay, we'll drop that. We're going to make these collectibles. We just wanted to show you this is what we have planned. The feedback from the 6 scale community is not very good so far. So we're going to take, this is like our first ever.
You chose this.
Walk on glass.
It was our first like launch anyway, so it's a case of get as much feedback and change. So if 6 scale collectors do like the idea of an online event, then we can do it for purely 1/6, and we'll make sure that we've got the samples. We'll make sure it's as detailed, but it's just going to take a little bit of time, unfortunately. So I hope that answers the question. And based on the feedback, we've learned a lot, and there's probably a lot of things will change. We probably won't show concepts again. We'll stick to prototypes, that kind of thing.
Sorry.
No, I was going to say, speaking of the concept, so, you know, obviously when you're marketing something, you have to make it look the best, right? So, you know, you guys did the showcase and you posted pictures. I don't know if Dante has them. You guys posted pictures of what I guess apparently these pictures here were part of your showcase. So what you're saying is that these are actual prototypes that were made, and this is what the figures are going to look like.
So I think so actually the 3 on the left, on the right, sorry, they are concept drawings. So I think this is what's confused people, and communication's a big issue, and I've seen that in the comments. We watch all these videos. We're listening as much as possible. Communication's 2 ways. It's not us talking to you, then we dip out. We're listening to the comments. And one thing that statue collectors are a little bit more familiar with this idea. So what we generally do is we have to start with a concept of how it will look. So a lot of these concepts we saw, I forgot the guy's name now. He sent me the video to watch the other day, and they were just debating this, and they were saying, well, it can't be the photo of a guy because of this, and this. Well, the reality is that none of these are photos. They're all drawings in some shape or form. That's why there's a base. That's why there's maybe some inaccuracies. They're literally the concepts that we work off. So we submit this to Warner Brothers, and they'll take a look and say, okay, we're happy with you to go to the next step. So if you saw the video, we had the next step, which is the 3D sculpt. So the Superman bust, where we showed like the baby in the middle, and we showed the 3D, it was all great. That's the next step, where we'll sculpt it all using ZBrush or similar applications like that. And then after that, we go to the prototype. Because of the time frame, we knew a lot of 1/6 collectors would see the announcement, so we had to have something. That's what our thought process was. We didn't want to have nothing at all because we knew 1/6 collectors were tuning in. We can't say, you guys, this is not for you. We just wanted to show this is what we have planned. So that was our intention, and the feedback from that isn't very good. So maybe we won't do it again, and we'll stick to the actual prototypes themselves.
Gotcha.
As you mentioned, you want to put your best foot forward, show the best.
Right.
For us, it's a learning process. The whole thing's a learning process. You guys know these collectibles inside out. Like some people will say, oh, he doesn't hold his sword on this side, his sword's on the other side. So we're taking all this feedback on board, and for the statue community, that's how we've made our collectibles a lot better, by listening to fans and collectors. Other companies don't do it that way, and there's probably pros and cons to that. But from our point of view, we just want to get as much feedback as early as possible, because once we've released the prototype, making the changes is a lot harder than when we release the initial
Right.
Right.
work in progress images.
So these are 100% drawings, not pictures, correct?
I guess he just
The
using
drawing
auto-tune.
to-
It's
Yeah.
auto tune.
He's going into the metaverse.
Yes. So they'll,
Hey,
they'll
John,
start.
you're bugging out.
Yeah, you cut
Oh,
out for a
sorry.
moment. Sorry.
You're good.
Okay. How about now?
You're
Yeah,
good.
you're good.
Good.
Okay. Yeah, so they're not all photos. There'll be drawings, there'll be sketches, there'll be a little bit of manipulation using like computer software, but that's how these concepts are made. And all of our collectibles start the same way. So it doesn't matter if it's a bust, a figure, a quartz scale, we have to submit the initial concepts to the companies. And that's why it's a pending licensor approval. Because a lot of these, they might make a suggestion or a change, and we'll make that suggestion and change. But we just wanted to give something to you guys, because we know that it's early days for us and we don't have the body of work.
Right.
Maybe it was the wrong decision, but that's what the decision we made, and we had to stand by that.
Yeah,
I
it's a
will
concept
say
mock-up.
this. Yeah.
Pretty much.
So the 6 scale community, because I've watched you guys like since the start for statues, and I will say they're two entirely different communities when it comes to like announcements and releases. And maybe I'm completely wrong, but honestly, I think your guys lives would be a lot easier, not necessarily showing the concepts, but I think like 3D sculpts with the ZBrush that you guys been using are a better way to show prototypes, because because 6 scale collectors have been trained to see prototype release photos before any like a physical I mean, it's not just Hot Toys. You go out to like Japan or any of the Wonderfest, and they just have prototypes galore, license penning, figure penning. And I think people are so used to just seeing something physical, they lose 6 scale collectors will lose their minds if they don't have that. And I think it's really awesome that you guys are very communicative with your community, and you've got your polls going and all of that. But I think it's also really important. You should communicate with your community, but I could be totally wrong. I hope it doesn't. But as a word of advice, I hope you guys don't let just the community dictate what you do, because I can see that you guys have a lot of love in what you do. And I don't want to see that get dictated by a community, the vocal part of the community, because quite frankly, a lot of 6 scale business, and most of it, is from a quiet audience. And there are some, like, if I asked about Berserk figures, for example, in the 1/6 community, not a lot of people are going to jump to it. But then you look at 3-0's releases, they've released 3 different variants of very similar, like, Berserk figures, and they're all going for like $500 to $800 because they're so successful. And a lot of the 6 scale community is not as vocal as they should be. And I genuinely believe that. So I think Queen Studio is doing an amazing job communicating with the community. But I think you guys should still stick to your roots, listen to what the community says, but do what's best for you, because it's going to make your lives a lot easier and more enjoyable when pursuing these projects, especially with a 1/6 license. I mean, it's such a hotbed for figures. It's been so long since we've seen a figure company come out. You know what I mean? And I think people are just looking for any opportunity for a great product and also to rip you apart. And I don't want to see that happen.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? I mean it in the nicest way. And I hope you guys stick to your roots, because, you guys made yourselves so great by doing what you love.
Right. So one thing I learned is in this community there are lovers and haters, right?
Yes.
And sometimes the haters come here
They
and
come
try
in
to
waves, man.
right, and try to kind of like influence and brainwash you, So if you like something, they're gonna tell you, "Well, it's trash. You should dislike it," and then because you want to follow the masses, you're gonna dislike it. But anyway, I want to address this super chat here for All Toys $10 super chat. Thank you so much. It says, "Hi John, curious. You guys showed a bunch of licenses in the launch video. Are those for statues or 1/6 scale as well?" Oh, that's a good question.
Some of those are 1/6. I'll see if we can. So for our statues, we have like a release phase each year. So we'll say that this is what we've got planned for the first half of the year. This is what we've got planned for the second half. I'll see if we can start to confirm that and post in the InArt group. I believe Game of Thrones could be 1/6. But I just want to confirm 100%.
What about it? Because I saw it
That,
at the end.
yeah.
I was thinking Pennywise 1/6 scale.
Yeah, it should be Pennywise 1/6, I
Just
believe. I just
tell
need to
Dante
confirm.
yes. Make him happy.
Make me happy, please.
Make him happy.
I'm
Just
about
make one.
60% sure it's 1/6.
Even if it's a statue,
Lie.
maybe if it's a statue, probably I will definitely get that because that's something that I miss to get. Okay, because I saw Back to the Future, I saw Black Adam, Lord of the Rings. Now,
Yep.
Saint Seiya. I want to ask you a question about Saint Seiya, but I'm gonna actually bypass the 1/6 questions. Carlos says, "Lord of the Rings photos were drawings. Interesting. Nobody's gonna know. Maybe
No one will know.
no one
How
is
will they
gonna
know?
know."
Come
Angels
on.
Maris says, "Can Queen Studios get the Demon Slayer license?"
We can try,
Can you get all of
but we
them?
can only try.
Like
Yeah,
all
we'll
the
try for
licenses?
as many as possible. A lot of the time we don't hear back, so the best way is if they know us and they contact us. That's the best way. But we'll try as many as possible.
Right. So you got Harry Potter, right? You have a bunch of.
Yep.
So you have all those licenses for 1/6, or it's only statues?
We have something planned for Harry Potter in 1/6. I'm not sure the release date on that. It's something interesting. And we also have a 1-to-1 bust planned. We'll see how that goes. But Harry Potter, I don't think 1/6. Game of Thrones should be 1/6 from what I know. The DeLoreans from Back to the Future, and then most of the anime stuff are statues.
I'm
Okay,
very
so
happy about this.
I wanna ask you these questions. Desi asked this question. Several of the Dark Knight Joker accessories feature diecast components. Will this be a trend with other releases?
It depends on what it is that we're making. So, for example, the guns are all metal, but we can't make a miniature metal knife. So it depends on what the licensor allows us to do, because some things we'll try and make as authentic as possible, and some things, if there's some certain rules, like for example, for our statues and some of our figures, I believe in the promotional photos we can't show them holding weapons, especially for statues. And some statues you can't even show with like the cigarettes because of the promotional implications. So some of the things we'd love to make as realistic as possible. It just depends on what's approved, what's not. Most of the time we'll go for the material that it was actually made of. So if it's a gun, it's made of metal, so will ours. That's what we're going to try and go for as much as possible.
And just kind of piggyback on that same question, I guess. All those 1/6 companies have mentioned that realism comes first. Will Queen Studios and InArt compromise articulation to deliver likeness, or realism is more important?
Well, realism and likeness, we believe, go hand in hand. The likeness is the realism. Like because if it looks real but it looks like another guy, it's then what's the point? We want to make it. We want to make it look like, oh, that's Heath Ledger, but as a figure. That's what we want to go for. When you walk in, you see it. That's what we're going for.
But would you compromise on articulation to deliver realism?
So we know articulation is important, and we want to have as many points of articulation as possible. That is to be honest, I can't answer that now. It does depend on what the pose is, I believe, and also what they're going for. If it didn't have as many points of articulation and more collectors want more points of articulation, then we might change. But we start with the facial likeness anyway, because that's the first point, and then the points of articulation and the movement and that kind of thing. It depends on the overall artistic vision of that piece.
So it is
So-
possible that you guys can compromise articulation if the figure looks really good.
Yeah, maybe, but there'll always be articulation. It just depends on how many points, if that makes sense. So
Right.
Sounds good to me.
Maybe there'll be a lot of articulation, but there might be some poses that aren't achievable. But then the question is, would you pose it that way anyway?
You mean like
Right.
Heath Ledger in a Spider-Man pose?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean,
And that's exactly why I was asking that, because a lot of I am totally, and I might be alone on this, but I am totally for compromising articulation. I'd rather have a realistic figure that still somewhat can articulate. We're not looking for a statue when it comes to figures, but I'm all about realism. But I know people were asking like, oh, but I want to put my Heath Ledger in a Spider-Man pose. It's like, well,
people are looking for a reason to cause problems.
Yeah, yeah.
Those people they want to watch the world burn.
They do.
But then the counter argument that I can see for that is the guys that make those stop motion videos with the figures, because those look incredible when they're done right. And I suppose that's the compromise. So maybe that market, those group of people, for some pieces we can't reach that, but with most of them we should be able to.
Mm-hmm. So Rider Reviews, member of the channel, 109 super chat. Thank you so much, Raleigh. Is it possible for No Way Home statues 1/4 or third Spider-Man? 1/4 third Spider-Man.
How did you know that was No Way Home?
No Way Home, no WH.
NWH.
Spider-Man.
Who's Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Dante didn't send you the acronym list. Oh,
I thought it was going to NWA New World Order. I was like, oh no.
New World Hoarder.
New World Order
That's
statues.
a great
Please,
YouTube
what are
channel
you doing?
New World Hoarder.
So is that something, John, that Queen Studios would pursue, like No Way Home statues?
Yeah, we get a lot of requests for No Way Home. Yeah, I watched it the other week. I was pretty impressed, but it's a good movie. So it's not been released officially in China yet, but we've got the opposite problem you guys have got. So like all the figures that we create, sometimes not easy to get in the USA. A lot of the movies now, it's not easy to get over here. So we have to make do with like the secondhand copies of someone walking in the cinema, that kind of thing.
Take that, Queen Studios.
Yeah, so hopefully we can get this license. We've put it in our plans. It's just in the license's hands. They just make the final decision.
Now, I do want to rewind a second because you did mention that you're going to start doing anime licenses. With those, were those easier to obtain global licenses? Because I know they're, or maybe I don't know, but I don't know a lot of distribution that has exclusive rights to anime, and that stuff is blowing up out here in the West. I'm a massive fan of anime. Like most of my collection is, I mean, Jesus, it's anime. It's anime. So will any of those be coming to the West? Because I'm very excited for that.
So we know from just speaking to our partners and other collectors that Europe as well is huge for anime.
Yeah.
We know the US, just in general, the US is a hotbed for culture. So this we know would be popular there. At the moment, this should be not Southeast Asia, but like the Greater China area for now. I think there might be less companies with like the global foothold in the market like there is for DC and Warner Brothers, but it's still a case of they usually start you out in your home markets and then expand from there. That's
just see
usually
how it goes. Would that be like a Bandai kind of thing, or good? I don't know if it's Good Smile.
You mean for the license?
Yeah, do they have a hold on it, or how does it work with anime?
I don't know as. Yeah, a lot of them they'll be because Japan's really close to China anyway. A lot of it's done in face to face in Shanghai, so I have less to do with that.
Got it.
So, yeah.
Oh, you're totally good.
So one question, one of the chat says, all this talk about this to be released important, but yes, one question: how confident is Queen Studios on meeting the estimated release date? For example, the Joker.
Yeah, so this is a question we get asked like daily. How confident are we? How confident are we that we'll release? I've spoken to the guys at length about this and asked them, can we meet this date? Can we meet this date? the delays that we'd expect would be on the shipping side, because that's completely out of our control right now. There's Shanghai's been locked down for like 30 days, and there's reports of people having like less food and stuff. So that's an issue in that city. I've been told it could happen in the south of China, and that's two of the biggest ports in China where everything's made anyway. So if there's a delay, it's not our side. It's like the global economy is going to be affected by it. Production-wise, we're confident the first few batches will be ready on that date. So as I mentioned before, we'll be shipping in batches. So not the whole run won't be done at that date. That's when the first batch will be done. And then that's where we'll hopefully get some samples to send out to different streamers to take a look, and also to give some feedback as well. Yeah, the delays that we're expecting could be on shipping, but we've got a few more months yet, and hopefully things improve in China.
So were the orders for the Joker were as expected, or did you guys, get more orders than forecast?
I don't know as much about that because the sales, this domestic license, so they didn't announce the sales numbers. I think it was a lot because it's our first figure. Usually your first ones, there's a lot of people waiting to pull the trigger. They want to see what other people think first. That's what we've seen with our statues. Our first few, the sales are a little bit slower. Once we make our first batch, get them out to the collectors, they give the feedback, then the second one's usually a lot better. But for this one, I think this was beat a lot of our earlier statues. So it seems to be good so far, but I don't have any numbers right now.
So I know, and this is another question from Desi. So Facebook polls, right? You guys do a bunch of those. Would that actually have any real effect on the products and licenses you guys choose to make next? Or is it just kind of like more informative, but maybe some licenses are out of scope, like Star Wars, for example?
Yeah, some of them, if it's just impossible with the licensor, we can't do it. But the whole point of that was for us to find out, well, outside of the big two, like that most people talk about, or maybe big 3 or 4. So outside of Warner Brothers and Disney, what other licenses would you like to see? That's what we wanted to find out, and then we'll use that information to contact the different companies. It just depends what some of those guys are already working with other partners anyway, so it just depends what's available. So we are using those as a guide for us to move forward with. Yeah.
Okay, a couple questions from the chat here. So Carlos says, please give us one third scale Dragon Ball Z. Is there any plans for Dragon Ball Z? Because I'm a huge fan of Dragon Ball as well.
Not yet, not that I know of. But it's always we're always interested in expanding our licensing, so I can ask.
Another question from Andrew James, wondering in super chat. Thank you so much. Hey John, any Terminator stuff in the works?
Yes, there should be. It's just a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on right now, so hopefully we can announce some positive news
in the
next couple of months.
Yeah, because I know that I think Terminator was on the Facebook poll. That's why I asked that. So for 1/6.
So is that statues Terminator or possibly 1/6 Terminator, or still too early?
We've approached about statues. We're going to ask about other scales as well. The problem we've got is that if we talk too much all the time, all it takes is our competitors to just say, actually, this looks good.
We've got the license now too, and we also have a prototype for you.
Yeah, so
here's our drawing. It's a fucking stick figure.
Hi, Josh. John, let me ask you. You guys did Joker with Viper. Was designed by Viper. Will the Lord of the Rings be also designed by him? Is Viper also right?
Yeah.
It's
his he's the guy that we hired to do 6 scale, and he hired all of the people that are working on it, and he'll oversee the whole thing. So yeah, sorry to interrupt, but yeah, the Viper's he's our guy for 1/6.
Okay, so means that for the time being you are working with Viper, but in the future will you consider working with other artists? Because in China there are so many good artists that doing the 1/6 scale. Are you considering open to that as well, or you will be exclusively working with Viper?
So one of the things that maybe it depends on how interested other 6-scale collectors were in the showcase and the video we launched the other week. But one of the things that we wanted to highlight was that in general, as a company, we're very art driven. So it's about the collectibles. We don't want to get caught up in too much of the businessy drama stuff. We just want to focus on the collectibles. So in that showcase, we try to highlight some of the artists that we work with, and we usually choose people that are specialists. So one of the statues was like the Bloodstorm Batman. The guy, the Japanese artist, I think his name's Hiroki, that we're working with.
Okay.
That's his thing. So that's why we worked with him. With Maria, she loves creating these like marble effect statues, so that's why we wanted to work with Maria. So if there's a guy out there or a girl out there that specializes in a certain character, a certain figure, and we can work with them 100%, we'll partner. That's not an issue for us.
You're
Dante,
muted.
sir,
You're muted.
You're muted.
Sorry. So going back to the topic of Batman, because you guys showed the head sculpt, right? The new Batman head sculpt.
Yeah.
Is that figure, in the works to be announced like soon?
May, I think. Yeah, from what I was told last week, should be May. I'm not sure if it's the first half or second half of May, but it should be May.
So this one will have any like other options like a rooted hair, or is going to be just sculpted from the beginning?
I think there should be two options, rooted hair, and I think for Gandalf it's just one piece and rooted hair. With Batman, I think there's two options.
Oh wow. So similar to what happened with the Joker, right? Like some sculpted hair and rooted hair, maybe some extra accessories.
Yeah. I think there's the reason why we announced Gandalf first is a little bit more straightforward. For the Batman piece, there's going to be some more accessories. There's the car we're working on, and I think there should be two head sculpts that we're working on as well.
I wanted to speak on the Batman since we're on that. The 1/3 scale Batman that's already out, not out, but on pre-order.
On pre-order,
There's been a lot of talk on the base, and I'm sure you know the base issue. Is there any plans to change that? Is there any workaround what all the talk is going on about the base?
So usually that's one thing we do take collector feedback on board, and we take it seriously. So I give the example of the Captain America life-size bust. So we released the Captain America life-size bust, and it had one arm, and everyone said it looks like an amputee. So we held that pre-order, and we decided let's add a second arm and a shield, and then let's go back to the licensor. With Batman, they talked about it and said, right, we'll stand by the final decision. Sometimes, like you guys mentioned earlier, you've got to listen to the feedback, but you've also got to go with your gut and the original artistic design.
Right.
And for this piece, that's just the way we've gone. I think that we had similar plans for a similar type base for the 1/6, but I believe we've abandoned those plans based on the feedback for the 1/3. So unfortunately, we won't change the 1/3 for a lot of people, but for 1/6, there'll be some adjustments.
Right. Okay.
Any 80s figures that is in the works?
Yeah, so
besides the Back to the Future, obviously.
Yeah, so that's what we did the poll for. There's a lot of 80s. There's a lot of love for the 80s movies, so we're working on the licensing first, and then we can start on the concepts.
Right, like Ninja Turtles, for example, right? Well, that's more 90s, but the Ghostbusters. I'm not sure how difficult it will be because Blizzway has a license for it, but there's a bunch of 80s, really good 80s movies. The other day we dedicated
Die Hard 80s.
Die Hard is the 80s. Yeah, Die Hard is the 80s.
Maybe Die Hard would be cool. I didn't see Die Hard in the poll. I don't know what you guys would think about like a Die Hard movie.
Don't listen to the poll.
No, but
maybe
it's a good
is it the Nakatomi building? Maybe we could do a miniature Nakatomi building.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Dune. You guys know. You guys mentioned that you have the license of Dune, the Matrix as well,
Yeah.
and then a bunch of others. One of them is also Saint Seiya, which is something that I personally really I'm very interested because I love this anime series. And you guys showed us the Shiru and also Hyuga. Or
Yep.
Yoga, I don't know how it's pronounced but maybe I'm close. But these two, is there any plans to complete the whole Bronze Knights series, for example, like Seiya and the others?
Yeah, I believe so. These are just the first two that we worked on. So these are 6 scale statues.
Right.
So the scaling wise, we can do a lot more with the base, and still people can have more like display options. So like that's why the back's a lot bigger and the front's a lot bigger. So there'll be plans for more from this series. Usually we'll sign like a 1 or 2 year deal, and we'll have so many planned. So these are just the initial two that we've got planned for this year.
Yeah. So so there's hopes to see more characters. Obviously, maybe the Golden Armor Knights. Those are my favorites as well. So I think a lot of people are gonna be very excited about this. This is a very popular anime show, though. Same as Dragon Ball Z.
Have you guys thought about pursuing some of the possible figures / licenses that really haven't been attempted yet? And I could be totally wrong. There could be no demand for some of these, but I would love to see a Steve Carell 40-year-old virgin. I would love to see an Ace Ventura or a Truman Show. And I swear I can't be the only one, but are there licenses out there like that no one has done, that Queen Studios has looked at? Or are we first trying to hit the ground running for some really popular, definitely people are going to be going for this licenses? Is that how we're starting out?
Yeah, so we'll hit the ground running in the beginning, and then we'll probably take a few risks along the way. So as you mentioned, like a 40-year-old virgin Steve Carell, like the first thing that pops in my head is where he's standing and looking at all the figures. Maybe we could like
dude, like a 40-year-old virgin diorama.
Yeah. So
I would buy it.
Yeah, there's basically the guys here get really excited about this kind of stuff because they just care about the art.
Yeah.
But we have to also remember we've got to make the money if we don't make money, we can't continue to do what we're doing. So we're gonna have to take a mix. Some of the pieces are gonna be very mainstream, and I think we'll probably take a few risks on the way. So yeah, that's a good question. Right. I think we can look into it.
Yeah, you might be putting yourself under the bus making a 4-year-old version.
Look at what Doc Smizzle said. I've got a 6-scale collection for my 6-scale collection.
Oh God! It's funny because it's going back to the licensing, right? So we got it. So you guys display that. Now that means that there is a really, I guess, maybe high chances to see Queen Studios and InArt doing more 1/6 scale horror figures, because there's a market for horror as well. And I think that's something that we lack a lot. I mean, there's really not too many companies that do really good quality 1/6 scale horror figures. I mean, there's few obviously, but there's not a lot.
Yeah, if maybe we could do like an episode of like InArt Cribs or something, show everyone's collections, because our art director loves horror, and so does our CEO. If you go into their offices, their homes, there's just like Freddy and Jason, there's all the different horror movies, they're just everywhere. They love that stuff. And Monsterpalooza is one of the big like horror genre shows in the US. Before the pandemic, our team have been a few times, and we did have plans to go for the last few years, but because of the pandemic we can't travel there. So horror for us is something that they just love making. So hopefully we can do more horror pieces as well, and then hopefully we can take those figures to Monsterpalooza and meet more people.
So Pinhead, one of them.
Speaking of monsters and creatures, Predator, is that Predator and Alien? Is that something you can talk about? If it's there, like I feel like Queen has it on in their sites. Like somehow, I feel like that's one of the target. They make beautiful. I mean, Predators, you can make beautiful statues to figures. I mean, what's your say on that?
So the Alien license, I think is Fox, which has
Yes.
now been acquired by Disney.
Disney.
So
Oof.
that makes it challenging for
Even
global
more, yeah.
licenses.
Yeah.
But we do have an Alien statue planned. I'm not sure when the release date. It could be later on in the year. Is it H.R. Geiger? I can't remember the first initials, but
Geiger,
yeah.
yeah.
Our art director loves everything Geiger. His house is full of that stuff as well. So we
That's
will
great
be
to know.
making more alien busts and statues in the future. But figures, we'd have to look into that. It depends on what Disney will accept.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a good question. But horror is definitely one of the
Horror
favorites. I
would do
mean,
well.
horror will do really, really good for real. Like not only like Pennywise, like the license that you guys have, but maybe I don't know, Jason. We have Ash from the the Evil Dead. Ghostface. I mean,
Does
there's a
horror-
bunch.
Does horror sell well in China? Like those pieces, or is that more like Europe and West?
So if we made horror, we'd be focusing on the overseas markets. There's a smaller
Got it.
market over here.
Got it,
Because
okay.
like I think they usually in the movies they censor a lot of the gruesome stuff. So
Right.
you have to like watch the overseas versions to see the full movie. So if we did it, it would be for the global audience. But like I said, we love that stuff, so they'd be 100% into it.
If you guys make a Scream, we need a deluxe with the scary movie face, the ghost face.
What's
I'm not even
up?
kidding. I'm not even kidding. It would sell so well. I'm literally working on a custom for the PCS 1/3. I got my first horror piece. I have the ghost face coming through the window, the door, and I'm gonna try to get a custom done. But if Queen Studios can do something with Scream, their scary
Yes.
movie, oh my god.
Ninja Turtles as well. I mean, there's so many things that you guys can explore, and definitely there's a market for it. There's definitely a market for it.
That's not gonna do polls.
Okay.
Quiet.
What about materials? Because somebody in the chat asked a question about materials, and I think you discussed the same topic, John, on your stream the other day. That Queen Studios is looking to use really good quality material to avoid the issues with the pleather, issues with paint, dyeing. Some crappy issues there. So that's something that Queen Studios is going to take really seriously and deliver on the message to provide really good quality material. Besides, obviously, the likeness and all that.
Yeah. So the one of the key things that from our like research before we started making these collectibles, and the good thing about coming on these kind of streams is that we just get to chat with people, and this is where you learn so much more as well. But when we first announced 1/6, the key thing that came up over and over and over again is pleather. Everyone hates pleather.
I hate pleather.
So we're gonna go for real genuine leather, and on our quarter scale Loki statue, the suit. So people asking, why is the quarter scale Loki so much more expensive than the Captain America? Well, material affects the cost, but then you've also got to think about the lifespan. If you're buying a cheaper figure with a pleather and you've got to replace that with like a custom piece later on down the line, it's all going to balance out. So we're just going to go straight for the high quality leather. The lifespan of leather, I've Googled it. I think it's 30 to 100 years, but that's if you're wearing it. I'm not sure. It could be longer. I have no idea for like a figure, but we're going to go for high quality leather to avoid that issue.
John,
As you mentioned, the props.
Are you stating we wear our collectibles attire?
You could try.
No, but that's good. That's good. Quality is very important. But go ahead, go finish your point. Sorry.
So what I'm saying is it's hard to know the lifespan because like if you wear the leather, it's gonna like rub and age. Whereas a lot of people say, well, if it's leather, how long is it gonna last? Well, I don't know how does leather. It's gonna be genuine leather, so we're gonna have less of those issues. And again, with the props, the small accessories, we're gonna go for as much real material as possible.
That's good. I mean, because that's the issue that we normally get in 1/6 community, right? The material is kind of weak, or is pleather, so eventually it's gonna peel off, and then that's an issue, right? One question that that Desi asked, why does the 1/6 statues such as the Joker and Catwoman do not include rooted hair? Is there any reason why?
Because the
the
1/3
1/6
version had rooted hair, like, and they were scaled down
Yeah.
1/6, and then
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why we didn't do that. This was like a year ago when we worked on those statues. So I'm not sure the reason why.
It probably wasn't cost effective. Scale versus the work.
Yeah, it was early. So when we released those statues, that's when we'd already been working on some of the figures that you see now. We'd like just playing around in the background. So maybe at that time we just wasn't ready for the rooted hair. Whereas now we're much more comfortable with it. No one's asked that before, so it's hard to answer, and I've never thought to ask. But I could find out.
I was just curious.
right now,
I was
don't
just
know.
curious.
Yeah.
No, good answer. Good answer. I was just curious.
Yeah, no, we're curious. We're very curious here. Any other news that you want to share with us, John, in terms of like statues? Because there's a lot of statue collectors here, and as well 1/6. But in terms of statues, any busts besides the one that you guys showed on the video the other day? Any other things in the pipeline that is should be coming soon?
Yeah, so from the statue and bust world, we're a little bit more established, so we're moving at a faster pace. So the problem is with these things is that, like, I don't want to come on to and talk with you guys and have nothing to reveal. It's better if I can come and announce something new and chat about that. But it's going to take us a little bit of time to catch up with the figures. But once we do, it's going to be a lot better for these kinds of discussions. For statues, next week we're going to release the Iron Man Mark 1 quarter scale statue, and then the big news that I'm excited about is the Doctor Strange life-size bust. So that is licensed in the USA, and we will have a payment plan.
Sorry.
Wow. That and if you
Doctor
guys
Strange?
Doctor Strange, if you guys have not
Yes!
seen that thing, it's one of the best busts I've ever seen.
Yes. I
Period.
didn't know it was licensed out here.
That thing is sick.
I'm stoked.
Yeah, it looks. I've seen it in person, and it's the best I've ever seen. It's incredible.
My god.
It's our best one yet, and that will be licensed for USA. And we can't release it before the movie, but as soon as the movie comes out, we're gonna follow up.
Oh, it's gonna be for the new movie, for the Multiverse of Madness.
It should be. There's not a lot of difference other than the
Variation,
base, I believe.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
the base might include elements from the movie, but the outfit and his look in general is not hugely different from previous
The guy
movies.
looks the same that he did 10 years ago, so it's all good.
Yeah.
What about a Scarlet Witch, for example? Is that something in the pipeline as well?
Yeah, so the Scarlet Witch, that was one of it. That's an example of where we just got a lot of feedback for that piece. A lot of people say something's not right, so we just paused that one for now.
Yeah,
and then we're just
I
gonna make a
was
few
like,
tweaks
"What's
and
going on,
changes.
Queen?" It posted up, and I was like, "It looks." A lot of people don't understand. I mean, you have so many elements like lighting and angles, and every person. When you look at somebody at every angle, they look different. I mean, so I saw other photos, and I was like, "That's a solid Scarlet Witch piece as well."
Yeah, for some of them, we believe that if we can make it better, we'll try and make it better before we release. Usually, we might release like something that's 85, 90, 95% there, and then we'll make the tweaks and changes before we start like to ship. So, but for this piece in particular, we know people want to see this as close as we want to make the best Scarlet Witch ever done. So we're gonna have to make a few more adjustments, and we'll come back again.
John, let me ask you, for the 1/4 scale Joker, the sculpted version, you guys were expected to release now in April. Is still on schedule or has some delays?
I think with a quarter scale, from what I've been told, it's not shipping in the next couple of weeks, so there could be a few delays with that one. Yeah, I've not been given any more information other than it's not shipping. So if there's a delay, we'll probably announce that soon.
And this question is from myself, Joao, and Dante. Are you guys gonna make hats like this?
So
And the
one of the big
woodies,
questions,
remember the woodies.
yeah, one of the big questions is like Queen Studios merch. So we might start getting some merch out to people, get some hoodies, some hats, some other stuff. Maybe send some stuff out to free to some of the streamers, and Yeah, that's something the issue we've got, and maybe Joa knows about this, is in China the sizes are
The
completely different.
size. Yeah.
So we're gonna have to source some like Western companies that can help us like to get the good quality stuff, because we don't want to ship like a large T-shirt and it's like a small boys in the US. So,
You
we
just
need to
order
be
triple
careful.
XL.
I know, right?
Yeah.
The M size
I
in
have
the
like
US is the XL in China.
Yeah, for the
I have
US, for US, you gotta order size double. Oh my god.
So, Old Toys, member of the channel, is asking this question: any chance you guys will release singers or either 1/6 or statues
Singers.
Yeah, so singers and
So
sports
it's like
stars.
sport too, yeah.
like Michael
Yes,
Jackson,
don't-
Queen? I think we spoke about that the other day.
If Queen doesn't make Queen, this is mayhem.
Yeah, the problem is with those is the royalties for the likeness rights are insane from what we've
Just
been
make
told.
the Beatles.
Yeah,
Just look for dead people.
Just make the
yeah,
Beatles.
we're making. I think Michael Jackson had the rights to the Beatles at one point, so maybe
He
we
did.
can contact
He
Michael
did.
Jackson's
He
estate.
did.
Yeah.
It did. So one question from Carlos here, one in a super chat. Thank you, Carlos, member of the channel as well. Diecast engine and leather seats for the Batmobile?
Yeah, I don't want to answer that right now because I don't know. I don't want to say anything wrong, so I'll ask about that.
It's not,
Yeah, I don't know what material that is.
It's not Pimp My Ride. Relax.
No,
Also,
but that's a good
Batman-
question. You guys need to put a lot of love into that because people are gonna be very like,
Yeah.
they're gonna
Particular, yeah.
particular, right?
Mhm.
Right. So the more detail you guys add, diecast, leather, or leather seats, and all
Well, that
those things.
increases the cost. How much are people willing to pay?
But that's
Yeah.
the thing. That's the thing. If the demand comes with a price tag, so if you guys,
But-
if we want the best, then you're gonna pay for that. It's not like free.
And
But go
how
ahead.
much?
But we,
Oh, you can go ahead.
sorry, yeah. But the thing is that we're very open to change. We're not always fixed minded. So an example is we had like a Wonder Woman life-size shield we released about 2 years ago, and we made a polystone version, and then everyone was messages and email and say, why is there no metal version? So we just said, okay, we'll make a metal version. It's that simple.
You guys might end up opening a shop for oil changes as well because we want realism.
Yeah.
They want to start the car and write it.
Yeah, so maybe if we make it a certain material and then everyone says actually we wanted like a different material for the car, maybe we wanted leather seats. If there's enough people that want it, then yeah, we'll consider it. It's not an issue.
So what about the DeLorean? I know you guys are gonna do the DeLorean. Could you share some information about it? I mean, is it gonna be more detailed and
All details always the most important thing for us. We're still a little bit out. We've only just signed a contract like a month ago, so
okay.
we're a little bit away off for that one. But hopefully, I'm hoping it's just the best materials. But the details always going to be there.
Okay. Do you guys have any other questions in the panel or in the chat?
For me, I was wondering, since I feel like we're the minority being DC fans and the Batman doing so good, how much more are we diving into the Batman? I want to know all about that 1-to-1 bust for the Batman. What else are we going to see from it doesn't have to be just the Batman, either Dark Knight, the Batfleck. How much more DC will we see this year? Coming out
Nightwing.
from anything Batman.
So this year we've committed more to our DC license than we did in 2021. We released a lot more Marvel stuff last year. This year there should be more DC, more Batman. So we released the concepts of the Batfleck. So we've got the Nightmare Batman. We've got the mech suit. We've got the
And those are the several
BVS.
1/9 scale, correct?
So some of those, I think the scale's still being determined because a lot of people are questioning 1/9. So some of them could be 1/4, but that's just the initial concept. There might be some more changes for that.
Gotcha.
But the idea is those are the collectibles that we will make from like the Batfleck kind of series, and then we've also got some more Dark Knight stuff on the way, and also the Batman. We've got some more of the Batman pieces coming.
So just two final questions to wrap this up. Okay, the first question is, I mean, I like Loki as a character. Joker is one of my favorite Pennywise. I saw that you guys announced the one quarter scale Loki, which looks fantastic. Any plans to have Loki in maybe 1/6 scale?
We can always make plans, but we have to speak to Disney and Marvel about that, see if they'd approve it. They've already got some big partnerships already, so it might be a big challenge this early on, but maybe one day.
And my last question is, all the companies, like I'm just gonna name it, like Hot Toys, for example, they they do their figures, but also from time to time they do some accessory pack, for example. Is that something that maybe Queen Studios will explore in the future? Let's say, for example, if you get a Batman figure for the Dark Knight, maybe to get some accessory pack with other accessories, maybe I don't know, something else, or not for that specific, but maybe for other figures in the future. Is that something that maybe Queen Studios would explore, or is it just going to be straight 1/6 figures, straight statues?
I think with most of like the accessories, we'll try and include with the figures at the time, and we'll try and include as many props, accessories that sort of tells the story of the character. So if there's like any re-releases, or if there's like, for example, someone wanted an extra pack or anything like that, it's something we'd always be open to. But we'll try and include as much as we can with the figure itself. I think that's the initial route we'll go down.
That's fair enough. One last question. Riley Reviews, member of the channel. Well, thank you so much, Riley. What about Joaquin Joker 1/3 scale? Is it possible?
They did it already.
Third scale, yeah, we've already done a third scale, but I did speak to our CEO, Jason, about 1/6, and he said that we are planning to make a 6 scale Joaquin Phoenix Joker at some point. But I think no one else, I don't think anyone's done it licensed yet. Maybe I'm wrong.
No one.
I think the price point is an issue there, so we'd have to go for a more premium piece, and it would probably be more of like a diorama. Maybe there's more elements to it, and I think that's the kind of route we'd go down. But there is plans for a 6 scale figure.
So I guess when you guys in the future, are licensed as well in the US, right? Because some people are asking, for example, what about replacement parts? Is it possible to sell replacement parts at a reasonable price, for example? Is that something that maybe once, because I know in China, I'm assuming that if something goes wrong, you guys will send replacements or try to fix whatever that is, right? Would you guys sell parts as well?
Yeah, again, that's another, because we're so early on, we've not had any issues yet. We've got to make the figures first and then listen to what people are saying, listen to the feedback. Replacement parts we have to do anyway for our statues and busts now and again, just because of shipping. The shipping, a lot of the times, that's where most of the damages come from. Sometimes even if they get open for inspection, they can damage it. So we have to prepare replacement parts anyway. So usually the people that we work with, they will request the replacement parts from us and we'll provide.
And I know there's more questions, but last question from Everyday Collector. When will we receive the official statement from Queen Studios in regards to the 3-day window issue? The community was told we will get an official statement. What's the status of that?
Okay, I'll ask about that. On our side, there's been a lot of other things that we've been working on recently, and I've tried to answer their question as much as I can. If people want an official statement, I'll speak to the team here. It'll probably be in Chinese, and then we'll have to translate it on below that.
No, we have Joao. He speaks Chinese.
Okay. Just to finish, John, if you ever consider doing the Joaquin Phoenix 1/6, maybe you can talk with the team and doing Arthur Fleck and the Joaquin Phoenix, maybe a 2-pack. I think we will like to see that.
That sounds cool. Yeah. We're interested in that kind of idea because, like with our bust, we try to tell the full story of the character. So the problem is with statues, it's hard to make like a 2-pack, but maybe we could do that with the figure. That's a good idea.
Yeah, because when you showcase the 1-to-1 scale, the best, the Joaquin Phoenix one, I saw the video, and it seems that Queen Studio CEO is a big fan of that Joker. So I think it's possible that we will see that.
That will be well received for sure, because I don't think, well, no one in 1.6 besides the third party company
No one
did
did.
that.
No
But
one did.
licensed figure, no one. That will be a huge thing, because that was one of the best Joker's movies I've seen. Personal opinion, just don't quote me. My personal opinion. But anyway, I want to say, John, thank you so much for your time. It's been a very busy day for you. Thank you for stopping by and answer the questions from the panel, from the chat. Anything that you wanna share, closing thoughts, John, about the company, Quinn Studios? You have this is the platform.
Yeah, so just like thanks again for inviting me on to speak to you guys on behalf of InArt and Queen Studios. Hopefully it's interesting for people, because this is like, I think, the 6th or 7th different live stream. I know a lot of you guys overlap, but I just hope it's interesting for people, and that's what we just want to engage as much as possible, and hope that we've released one figure so far. So we just want to say, like, just give us the time, and we're going to work on those faults and those problems. Most companies just don't talk about it and address it, and maybe that's smarter than what we're doing. Who knows? But we're just here to be as open. Yeah, maybe. We just want to
keep coming, Josh. We need John to keep coming.
Yeah.
We just engage
Thanks a
as
lot,
much
John,
as
for
possible.
coming.
Yeah, that's our goal.
And
so
I wear a L, and my cap size is M. No problem.
Right.
but
And if you want reviews, you can send the figures my way, so I can review them for you guys.
But Joe, you're in China, right? So
Yeah, I'm in China.
Maybe so you're in South China near Guangdong. Is that
Near
right?
Foshan, right?
Foshan, yeah. So when the pandemic eases up, you can just come here, try them on for size anyway.
Sure.
And
I will go there. I
Oh,
will camp there.
That's not fair. Kick him out right now.
Yeah, thanks, Joao, for being part of the stream.
Zhao just got a brand. Zhao just got a brand deal right in front of us all.
I know, right? It was like, dude.
But it's open invitation. So if you guys ever want to fly out to China,
now it's open
restrictions are
invitation.
lifted.
Oh,
I was gonna say that after.
Hey, next time I'm
guy
here, I'll
out.
take you up on that offer. Next time I'm
John's
here.
like, disclaimer. Okay.
Joao, you have
Yes.
an air mattress for me?
We can hook you up with something. Hotels are cheap out here.
He will sleep in John's office, I guess.
God.
No, but thank you, John. Thank you guys for watching. We're gonna wrap this up right now. Again, hopefully we can get you soon, John. When another release is out, maybe
Next
we
Friday,
can
John.
have a talk.
Come on every week. Just talk.
Every week.
We won't
Yes.
let the collectors rip you apart. We'll protect you.
Yes. And yeah, that's all we have. So we're gonna wrap this up. We're not gonna go over everyone's channel. Please subscribe to everyone's channel here. All the links are down below. Please like, subscribe, share. Any comments or anything, by all means, you can just let me know. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, be well and see you around in the next video.
John said he's going to send me all the figures.